Okay, so this need to recreate everyday life led to the development of the realism and naturalism movements. Anything before that tended to use anti-naturalistic devices to produce their play. So we would see characters speaking verse instead of prose. We would see ghosts, witches, and other supernatural beings, and we would have a Greek chorus sing their lines instead of speaking their lines. So this is useful information for anyone who wants to study acting in a drama school. So the drama school will require a potential student, a potential candidate, to prepare a classical piece and to prepare a modern piece. So anything before the 1870s, 1880s is considered to be classical, and anything afterwards considered to be modern. So useful information. So, okay, when we refer to realism, we're talking to a movement that wanted to replicate real life. And for that, we would have characters that would speak and behave as people do in real life. So, and the key strength of realism is because of this, because of characters behaving as we actually do, most of us do, we relate better. So we identify and we recognize ourselves in the character, and hence we empathize more with the character. We feel more for the character. So in the case of naturalism, this movement is like supra-realism. So in naturalism, the first thing this movement believes in is that the subject matter of any play it should be the lower class, the masses. So this is just a reflection of what was going on during the second half of the 19th century. So all the revolutions going on, and also it had in mind that more than resembling life, they wanted an exact replication of life, and a slice of life. You know, somebody is going through the line of their life, and we're going to take a segment, a slice of that, and that is what we're going to see on stage. So this meant that the characters and language were super real. So with this I mean, for instance, if we think Ibsen is considered to be a key playwright of realism, while Chekhov is considered to be one of naturalism. So in Ibsen, when you see that dialogue that the characters speak, it feels normal, feels real, but nonetheless, it's a bit stylized. So, for instance, in such dialogues, the characters won't repeat ideas, won't repeat words. And that's not real life. In real life, we make mistakes, we hesitate, so we pause. So in the case of Chekhov, in his plays, you would actually see that going on. You would see characters having pauses, characters repeating words, repeating ideas. So, and similarly, in naturalism, the props, the setting, and the costume were meant to be exactly as they were in life. So for instance, if somebody is cooking and we're doing a naturalistic production, so the cooking of this meal probably will take 10, 15 minutes. So in a naturalistic play, a naturalistic production, it would actually take 15 minutes because it's real. So it's like it happens in real life, and the real physics of life. So in the case of realism, maybe it needs to be stylized a bit in order for this cooking action to take 2 minutes to 5 minutes. So I hope you get my meaning. So they both try to replicate everyday life, but naturalism wants to have an exact match to the physics of reality. Okay, so and these three playwrights are considered to be, when all this started, are considered to be the key playwrights. So in the case of Ibsen, he mainly focused on on people within a social context. So if we think of a doll's house, so this is, we have the leading character, Nora, and Nora, by the end of the play, realizes that she has been treated like a doll all her life by her father and her husband. And because of that role a woman has in society, she decides to rebel against it. So then we have Strindberg. So Strindberg starts leaning toward naturalism more. So in Strindberg, we would usually have characters that are in conflict with others and in conflict with themselves. And in Chekhov, these characters would be more psychologically, would have more dimensions psychologically. So, and actually their stories would overlap, the stories of all the characters on stage would overlap emotionally. So, a key influential practitioner of these movements was a Russian director and actor, Konstantin Stanislavski. And his biggest contribution to theater was his method of psychophysical action. So what he wanted was for performers to behave truthfully and feel real emotions on stage. So the basis of his method is that a real feeling is a result, a consequence of a psychophysical action. So that means that I want something, and in order to get what I want, I do something. And if I get it, I feel happy, and if I don't, I feel sad. So I feel something. He also developed several exercises and techniques to be able to allow the actor to go through this process on stage. For instance, he would ask actors to write down a biography or a background story of the character. So what happened to the character before the play starts. He could also ask the actors to imagine themselves, the actor, in the circumstances of the character. So this allows for a more truthful behavior. Or to use a substitution, so substitute another character or an object of the play with a personal object or a personal person of the life of the actor. So this allows for a more truthful relationship and a more truthful behavior. He also was concerned with making the actors focus on what they're doing, on their action, on their do. So for this, he developed exercises like the circle of attention, and he would always push for the concept of the fourth wall. So that's a concept that says that there is a fourth wall between the audience and the actors. So the idea is for the actors to behave as if the audience is not there. And he also developed several ways of revealing a character's objective about working a play by dividing the play into several units of action. So it's easier to work on smaller chunks than on bigger chunks. And then you put them all together again.